It's time to make an aggressive move. Good morning, everybody. Good day, everybody from all over, I guess, all over the world. I got all my channels on here this morning, but I'm talking to the donut capital of the world precisely today in specific nature. But we all are part of the donut capital of the world. If you're following me, you're in my life, and you're a part of a lot what's going on. But today I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm going to give a quick little message, but I'm going to give an update of the donut capital world, business, and in my life. And I think you all deserve to hear what's going on. It's been a little bit and I want to catch you up. So, man, I just want you to know it's time to make an aggressive move. To make an aggressive move. I'm excited to talk to all of you this morning. I plan on having a big crowd this morning. I have planned a lot of views traditionally when I bring the Donut Capital World channel into this, or I invite all my channels into a conversation. It's generally a big turnout, and we get a lot of things discussed, a lot of things talked about. So what I want to do is just basically tell you that the title of this message or this update to the Donut Capital World, my YouTube, Wired Differently, LinkedIn, all of these channels on Facebook and everywhere we're broadcasting is that it's time to make an aggressive move. And so when I say that, I'm saying it about myself. I'm saying it's time for me in this business world to make an aggressive move. But I'm also saying it to you. I'm also saying to you, I think sometimes you have to just wake up maybe and just say, man, today I need to make an aggressive move. I need to not just play it safe. I need to not just be in a situation where I'm going to wait for things to happen around me. I'm not going to be in a position where they're going to let the first dude make the move all the time. I mean, some of us are in that place in life, and I'm not going to turn this into a big self-help message, but I want to actually tell on myself. I want you to understand, I mean, it's time for me to make an aggressive move. Now, why is it time for me? Well, it's time for me because I have been settled for a little bit in the donut capital world. And this is most specifically my Wire Differently channel. People listen, and I want you to understand, if you're listening to me from a faith-based or a business perspective, I want you to use what I'm talking to the donut capital world about in my moves and the decisions and what our team and what we're doing in the update to just maybe, reflect on your own businesses, reflect on your own life and say, okay, he's doing this, he's doing that. Why is he doing this? And so that's why I tell this is time to make an aggressive move, because from a self-help perspective, I think sometimes we need to hear it's time to make an aggressive move, right? A massive attack, a massive move, something aggressive, not something so gentle, not something so little that very people will notice if you succeed or if you fail. And I think that's the big thing that's going on right now in my life is that as we've moved this donut capital of the world in a position over time, there's a lot of things that I've been setting up to happen over the last since 2018, 2019, when we declared we would become the donut capital world. And so just to start this off, I want to just give you a quote in my first book that I think is really my mantra when it comes to We're Wired Differently or Tom's Donuts or any of the business or anything in my family, anything in my faith life, anything that I do in life, I think is really shrouded around this quote. And I want you to have this. I want you to take this. And because this is the barometer of, I think, time to make a massive move is time to make an aggressive move. And that quote is, it's not the efforts that separate us, but more so the distances that we're willing to go. And so, I want you to take that and think that and let that settle in a little bit. It's not the efforts that separate us as human beings. It's not like how hard we try all the time. It's not what we do and how we do it. And it's not always really that. I think it's more in my life, and I would teach you and suggest to you that you understand that it's not those efforts that truly separate us, or certainly those efforts that define us. It's the distances we're willing to go. It's how long will you try before you give up? It's how committed are you to the cause? How committed are you to your family? How committed are you to your faith? How committed are you to your business, and so on, and these things in your life? And I get it. A lot of us give good effort, but then we stop giving effort, right? And I think that if I can share one thing with you all in my business life, my business world, and anything that my father may have or may not have, passed on to me over the times of what we're doing here and enjoying this run, is legitimately the donut capital of the world, right? The donut capital of the world is no joke. It's the real thing, right? And so here it's just this, is that it's really been the endurance in my life. When you look at the Wire Differently show, we've done well over 300 shows. All of them are pretty good. Not all of them are great, but they're there every week for over 4 years now. It's not the efforts, it's the distance. And so when I talk to you about the donut capital world this morning, I want you to think about, like, what is your business? What is your business? Even if it's not a commerce business, what business are you in? Relationship business, or what do you consider your busyness of today, and how are you looking at it? And so please just take that quote with you. It's not the efforts that separate us, but more so the distances in life that we're willing to go that will separate us from the rest of the pack. And I'm doing all that to let you know that this morning I do care about you. I do love you. I do want to inspire. I do want to motivate you. I do want these things for you. And the best way I can do it is by showing myself to you in good and in bad times. I don't always have good times. I don't always have good business. I don't always have great family relations. I don't always have, there's never always really anything. All I can tell you is I'm still standing. My family's still standing. Businesses are still standing. Pacer Systems is basically a 1994 model that I started right in Angola, Indiana. In 2024, we're now the largest HCM in the country of 1,000 or more employees in the UKG ready software component. I mean, this is an endurance life that I'm leading. I want you to understand that. I want to encourage you that I want you to have an endurance life that you're leading as well. And so the latest and greatest of the donut capital of the world is right here, right now, and it's in a business mindset. And so since I've given you the front of this message, I want to give you the back, and I want to focus on the donut capital world. And I want to share some things with you this morning. I don't know how long I'm going to go. I'm just going to talk. Basically, I got some notes, but they're all in my head, and I'm excited to share some things with you. And I want to talk to you about the donut capital world. I want to talk to you what makes up the donut capital world. I want to talk to you about the restaurant and some great big moves I'm making in the restaurant. I'm making in the donut capital world. I'm making in my life. So let's get one thing out of the way. And I just really want to say from the bottom of my heart, a lot of people have had life-changing events, most particularly in my life in the Florida area. Mike Cole and some of my other friends out there who are in the Florida place. And we took a big hit. We took a 1-2 punch like nobody's business. And some of us were right dead in it. And I had the fortune of being in it and learning from another hurricane, and had the fortune of helping a lot of people, and we're still digging out of it. And just want to thank everybody for asking. I know there's a lot of people wanting, did you lose your house? Did you lose your house? Actually, the number one question is, did you lose your boat? Oh man, me and boats. I don't, I didn't have a lot of boats growing up. And when I get to Florida, I think I want to be a boat guy. I'm having to really face the fact that I don't know if me and boats were meant to be. So we all know that I lost a boat a while back and a couple hurricanes ago, and then this hurricane, I didn't literally lose my XO Express yacht, but the boat lift crumbled all around and it got cut loose, and I had it tied up because I learned from the last time, and we it got battered really bad, and I did some of um, the tape that you put on there that treads water, and I battened up the whole side. I have pictures. I probably could, but I taped up the whole side of the port of the side of the boat, and it's all done. And I drove it to the marina as fast as I could because I didn't want it to leak water, man, to keep it up high. Got it there, and so the boat is tucked away at the marina, and it's getting fixed. And so I did not lose the boat. The boat got beat up really bad. We're definitely going to need a new boat lift. And I lost on my big house. We did not take on water, but we did lose a significant number of beautiful royal palms. A lot of you follow me, you know how much I love my palm trees, and it was really a sad thing to see, about 15 royal palms, dinosaur, prehistoric sized trees just decapitated. And that was really sad, but we'll figure that out. But the good news is the big house didn't take water, but 3 of my other houses took massive water, and we've had to gut those, and we're starting all over. So interestingly enough, I heard Lou Holtz talk the other day, and he said something like, "Don't tell people your problems. Don't tell them your problems." I'm like, okay, why, Lou? He says, well, because 90% of the people that you tell your problems to don't care. Okay, all right. And the other 10% want you to have those problems. Now, I don't think you're those people, but I just find that interesting. And when things are funny like that, it's funny because it's kind of true. But I will tell you this, I did talk to one of my friends, and he wanted to know he wanted to know what had happened to Florida and my houses and everything. So I told him my truth. I told him the problems or whatever, just what I told you. And I don't know what to expect to hear anymore from people, but he says to me, he says, well, if you're going to live down there, you just certainly should expect stuff like that to happen. Yeah. It still doesn't feel any better. That's what I don't know. So, anyways, and my wife's doing well. She's there. We've had some changes. Her parents have moved in with us into the big house. They lost the house that we owned that they're living in, and we're all working together. And we've moved some people around. And in a couple years, we'll be rebuilt, and we'll be moving past it, and it'll be another thing. But right now, we're in it a little bit. I'm back here in Angola, Indiana. It's my last day here. It's a Thursday, and I wanted to talk to the donut capital of the world people. I wanted to share with the Wire Differently channel some things that are going on in my business life. And even though my wife and I own 16 organizations, we have great partners with Heather and Sam and so many great people. The donut capital of the world is not my largest entity, but it's probably it's the most special, right? Because it's where I grew up and where we all grew up in. The motive for all of this is to the way I saw childhood, I want it back right now. We all go back to our childhoods, and we go to our house and we look at our house, what we grew up in, and we think, oh, well, I thought the house was a lot bigger. Oh, I thought the yard was different. Oh, so we all see our childhood in one way or another, but I have this vision of my own childhood. My own childhood was beautiful. We had Bledsoes, and we had boats, and we had ski shows. We had snowmobile races. We had ski races. We had donuts. We had Coney dogs. We had the bait store. We could go fishing. We didn't have to be in at a certain time. We didn't have to worry about certain things. My parents weren't up your shorts all the time trying to figure out where you are and calling you on the phone. You kind of ran wild, but it was okay back in the 80s and the early 70s. And I just, I can't control all those things, but I do know that the most special place in the world to me is Tom's Donuts, Lake James, Four Corners. That whole area. the beautiful creeks that God created the waters to bubble up billions of years ago that's never stopped those springs from feeding Lake James and Snow Lake and Jimerson Lake that dribble down Jimerson Creek that go all the way down to Nevada Mills and find its way into Pigeon and the Mississippi River and then ultimately escapes into the ocean. I just find it as a beautiful thing, and I don't ever want any of us to take it for granted. And so, yeah, it's my exploration of my childhood for your explanation of your exploration of your childhood. And I know people love it. They tell me every day. And so I want to tell you what's going on at Lake James Four Corners. I want to tell you, first and foremost, thank you. Thank you from my father. Thank you from my brother. Thank you from my mother. And thank you from Colleen. And thank you from Tracy. And thank you from Todd Bledsoe. Thank you from anybody and everybody from back in the day. Paul's Coney Dog. Thank you from everybody. You know, this history, this tradition of the lakes. Thank you for allowing me to do this and to reward us with business accolades, kind words, recommendations, references, testimonies, and enjoying this with me. And the good news is that it's really just starting, because I want to really make an aggressive move today with you. I'm inviting all of you that are listening and will be listening on the replays to understand that this is an aggressive move I'm going to make. And I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm going to let you know that the aggressive move that I'm going to make is not to sit back and say, okay, we had it easy. You know, we created the world record and people are coming from all over. But I want to finish the vision of the donut capital of the world, because you need to understand that the donut capital of the world was the vision before the world record was ever broke. See, the world record was created to edify the donut capital of the world. I didn't need the world record to tell me, to tell anybody that I knew we were the donut capital of the world. I've been making donuts with my father since 1970, right? This has been going on. We own it. It's us. We don't need to edify ourselves. You just go wait in line and you hear the people talk about it. But guess what? We might as well celebrate the fact and put a dot in the I on it and legitimate this thing. And so that's why we set the world record. I thought, hey, let's set the world record, set this straight, give us another reason to be recognized as the donut capital of the world. And we did it. But the record only legitimized the idea of us being the donut capital of the world. The donut capital of the world idea was there before we had the record. I had shared it with my father many times, and he was in his dementia mind, and he didn't understand, and he didn't want me to get out there and profess something that somebody might construe as a lie. And so my mind said, well, why don't I just go set the world record and help him out? And it did the whole thing the way we did it. But the bottom line is that I want to share with you updates, but I want to give you the vision that I have for this company. And I've been successful at creating and marketing and visions with Payserve and Wired and all the other smaller businesses that we've done over time. And I'm just super excited. But this is really I don't know, to me, this is the biggest and may very well be the last, but it's this idea of creating the donut capital of the world. And so the donut capital of the world is what we're going to be moving more of our marketing to, right? We've led with Tom's Donuts, and we're never going to leave Tom's Donuts. Tom's Donuts is our lead brand. But my mind was to create this destination stop for people all over the world. My mind was to create this destination stop for people certainly all over the state of Indiana. I mean, how many of you visited Bronner's Christmas place up in Michigan? I mean, it's a national destination. It's famous for being a destination of Christmas year round. Well, my inspiration is Bronner's Christmas World. My inspiration is Clark Griswold. mean, if the truth be known, Chevy Chase and Clark Griswold really is the other inspiration. So you got Bronner's and then you got Clark Griswold. Why Clark Griswold? Well, Clark Griswold was like, to me, in my childhood, I don't know. I laughed so hard at him. But what was compelling about Vacation, the movie Vacation, and Wally World and Clark Griswold was, I'm Clark, right? And you are my family. And there's no way in hell we're not getting to Wally World. I mean, we are going to take this station wagon. We are going to take whatever means we have to do, and we are going to get to Wally World. It just so happens that Wally World is the donut capital of the world. I want this feeling of my childhood. I want this destination stop. I want this place where we can take families and be free and be happy and be open to talk about the things we want to talk about, to be able to even worship and to do things of that nature, and come to the donut capital of the world at all costs. Get in that station wagon. And when you get there, if it's closed, we're going in. We're going in, we're going to get on the rides, and we're going to have it happen. And so this idea of a destination in this community, a one in the world place, the only place in the world that you can be recognized as the donut capital of the world, the only place in the world that you can call your very own, the only place in the world that you can have the respite, right? To have an innocent candy donut, to have an innocent coney dog, to have an innocent burger, to have an innocent custard ice cream, to have an innocent burger, to have an innocent meal with your family, and pizza and lobster bisque and a steak and the best fish in the world at the donut capital of the world. Now you say, Todd, you get too emotional. Well, when you bring your culture and your vision and your childhood and your beliefs and you put them in one bowl, and then you say, here you go. Enjoy this place. It's yours. It's your tradition. I will run it for you. That's why it gets emotional. That's why it stays your place. That's why I want you happy to come to the lakes. Get out of the towns and come to the lakes. Get out of the rub bus. Get out of the traffic. Get out of the townie piece. I love the townies, but get out, escape, come to the lakes and enjoy a harmless lake life lager, right? Enjoy the fish that you can only get at this place paired with that lake life lager. Enjoy the pan-seared fish. Enjoy the amazing cheeseburgers. Enjoy what's to come. Come to the donut capital of the world year round. It's not just for summers anymore. Because Clark Griswold made the trip. And if you look at the donut capital of the world and you see how it's spelled on that sign and stands so proud in the winter and the summer and the spring and the fall, the font is mesmerizing to me because it's telltale of the vision we had 5 years ago, compelling me to be able to make this conversation and truth speak to you right now. So all that as a prelude to what's going on now. I know some of you have been watching the replay. I have lots of people watching right now. It's amazing how viewers are growing and people are not dropping off. So let's talk about the donut capital world. Let's talk about really what the business model looks like. So here's what I want you to see. Never going to leave the name Tom's Donuts, my father, our heritage, but I do want you to understand The movement, the big aggressive move that we're making is really that we're going to start marketing more so under the umbrella of the donut capital of the world. And under the donut capital world, you got Coney Connection, you got brisket burgers, you got custard ice cream, you got t-shirts, you got concerts, you got Lake Life Lager, you've got summer and water and boat parking, and you've got all this fun, and you've got donuts for days, wait in line, you have the music while you're waiting in line, and then you around it all you have this anchor named Traditions, or Lake Life Grill, your Traditions restaurant, housed and nestled in and under the moniker of the donut capital of the world, open every month all year round, where you can celebrate your traditions of lakes. And I hope your tradition of lakes is one of them is Tom's Donuts. One of them is Coney Dogs. One of them is our shirt. One of them is my father. One of them is the ice cream. One of them is the greatest glazed donut ever created, right? And one of them is the best damn fish I ever ate in my life, right? And one of them will be the best steak you've had around here or maybe in your life. So we have to get there, and all that to go back to the beginning of this conversation is that it takes endurance to get to these places. You know, I was very successful in opening it in 2 weeks, but we weren't perfectly successful in executing all of the blocking and tackling when it came to service and menu and a lot of learning curves. But we did a fantastic job in regards to getting open and staying open and delivering a good product on a regular basis. But I will be the first to admit, I really think we can even continue to do a better job. And so the big aggressive move I'm making right now is we are going to really be pushing the donut capital of the world as our lead marketing name, never leaving Tom's Donuts original, but shrouding this destination marketing piece so that people can travel and want to understand that there's more than just donuts here. It's an event. It's a destination. It's all year long. Now, this takes time, right? Things like this take time. Marketing takes time. But the only thing I can tell you that will always be the winner of what we do is our endurance. There'll be times when the wait line was a little long at Traditions. Well, we know that the wait line at Tom's Donuts in the summer is a little long, but it's always worth waiting for. We understand that sometimes the inventory is a little wonky and we're trying to figure out where we can get this type of product or that type of product. And some things get discontinued in this world and things don't always seem perfect, but we're always going to be there. We're always going to be open. And the endurance side of what we do is our moniker. Stay with me on this journey because it's really going to be fun. And I want this to be your place. I desperately want you to come and enjoy all of my wife and I's products in restaurants and donut shops and everything that we offer. We just genuinely, truly just want you to be happy. That's it. There's no other barometer for our success. Not even the bottom line. That's the difference of this business. That's the difference of what we're doing here is we're not measuring success by really how much money we make at it. We're really making sure that everyone is happy. Hard to do, but that's really what we want. We want this to be the donut capital of the world, the happiness place. So we've got work to do. And so here's what we're going to do. The donut capital of the world, I'm going to talk to you about this, is the donut capital of the world is this big arching business model. And underneath the Donut Capital World moniker is prime rib brisket burgers, concerts, side music with individual artists, Coney Connection, ice cream, custard. We've got the Lake Life Lager. We've got the restaurant, and we've got 2 donut shops, and we've got 3 corners out of the 4 that we're sharing the Lake Life experience with, inviting you to make us your traditional stop. So that's that. So now we go into under that moniker. Let's talk really about the donut. The donut situation, I want to give you an update because I've been giving people updates for the last 5 or 6 years. And this update is just going to tell you, I'm proud to tell you that we are up again in sales year over 8%. Now, when we first took over, we were flat, and then we really took a meteoric rise when we broke the donut capital of the world. We broke the world record, and we hit 8, and then we hit 10, and then we hit 15. And one summer, I think we were at 25%. But as our sales have grown, we've continued to grow, and it's harder to keep those year over numbers to grow in the same capacity. But think about it. We're somewhere around 8 or 10% again this year. And I'll also tell you that we have not raised our prices. We are not going to raise our prices next season either. This will be the 3rd season that we've not experienced any price increases in the donuts. Now, we've added some categories of donuts, but our base donut price is still $18 a dozen. Come get them. I know it seems high compared to 1970. I get it, but when you're paying people an average of $20 an hour and you want to get good people and you want to have great quality, you got to pay for it. So I just want you to understand that we're committed to that, and that is not going to change. Now, I also want to let you know that the donut shop in Angola, Indiana is still cranking out amazing muffins, bagels, and cookies. And we are doing 7 flavors of cake donuts every day. Shane Saylor, my brother, my partner, my friend, my best friend. There's no way the Donut Capital World works without him. He deserves a shout out. He is the endurance man. He's never missed a day of work in 40 years. We've had donuts every day. He's been in charge of all of this. We never miss a day. You can count on him. You can count on us because we have him. We will not let you down in that regard. I think that says a lot for us, endurance. It's not the efforts, but the distances we're willing to go to make sure that there is always a quality, consistent product for you. So the town store is incredible. It's beautiful. The lake store, I want to give you some changes for the summer that's coming up. I wrote a lot of these down. I'm going to go off the top of my head. The lake store, we're going to continue to clean that up. It's one of those things where you guys do not want me to change it. It's been there too long, and it's your special old place for memories, but we do have to continue to update it and keep it as fresh and possible and do certain things. So last year we did all the driveways, all the parking lots. We wanted to do that again this year. We're going to work on the signs on the front this year. We're going to work on the roof a little bit. But one of the biggest changes is we're going to be taking the brisket burger, the donut trailer, and we're going to be moving it off the water side. So next season, we're going to be moving the donut trailer that used to sit. I built that whole water side for that trailer, but I've decided now that we own the restaurant that we've got to change things around. We bought the restaurant for a lot of reasons to fulfill this Donut Capital World year-round capability. But now that we have the restaurant, finally, we want to be able to see the water. We don't want to block the water with the trailer. So we're going to take that trailer and we're going to move it over to the road that runs behind the donut shop. And so it's going to be congruent with the donut lines. It's going to be congruent with the music over there. And we'll be serving breakfast in the morning, certainly on the weekends. So the same lines of people can, bifurcate very easy, go over to the breakfast line. We may have some merch out there, some cool things we can do that. We have the ability to move employees a little bit easier, inventory a little easier, make the whole food truck thing even simpler because our commissary is right there. So I think that's a really, really good move. And I want to thank PM Roofing for allowing us to do that. He's helped make that happen. He sponsored the big sign behind us. I do want to talk to you about all of our sponsors. I might as well get that out right now. Peter Franklin Jewelers has been incredible for us. Peter Franklin Jewelers. I got one of his necklaces on right now. Thank you, Peter Franklin Jewelers. Get the Peter Franklin Jewelers. We're going to be running a special for them over Christmas. You're going to get some whack deals if you hang out and follow us for that. I want to talk to you about Apex Motorsports. They're amazing. They're building a new place out there on 200. You're going to love them. They've just done great. They've sold a lot of product out on our three corners this summer, and I just want to thank them so much for bringing their pontoon out there and their jets. And I wouldn't know the quads, the four-wheelers. They had a lot of those out there. I want to thank Lawrenceberry Garage. Stefan is super great guy, the best mechanic, the best garage in the community. They care the most. I got to tell you, I take all my vehicles there. I just want to thank that. Barton Lake RV, incredible people. Dave's incredible. Everybody over there is incredible. Cheryl's incredible. They brought their RVs and their campers and put them right on site. And man, I didn't want them to leave. I literally, I could have lived right on the water there in one of their campers. I just enjoyed everything about them so much. Gay's Hops and Schnapps helped us create this incredible beer, Lake Life Lager. Gosh, oh, Friday, we've sold so much Lake Life Lager. Lake Life Lager from Gay's Hops and Schnapps. They helped me put it together. They're still selling it at Gay's Hops and Schnapps at all their locations around here. It's a 4% light alcohol, lightweight beer brewed perfectly to pair with our killer fish. It's just a little bitter, just a little hoppy, just a little bit over a Michelob Ultra. Put an orange slice in there and forget about it. So I want to thank Gay's Hops and Schnapps for all that. Now, Lakeland Internet, I got to tell you, these people are super special. Lakeland Internet, super great people, super happy with them. They have Wi-Fi out there on the four corners for us. You can jump on it for free anytime. And I want to just tell you quickly, Lakeland Internet is an amazing company because they were supporting the Lakes Internet before no one else. Before anybody else wanted to pay attention to any of us lake people out there with internet, they found a way to do it through satellites or towers. And I don't know, it's old technology now, but they were doing it when it wasn't cool because that was the only way to do it. And now they've found a way to have fiber. And so they're putting fiber in everywhere. So when it comes down to choosing an internet provider on the lakes, pick Lakeland Internet. They care the most. They care. They've been proving it the longest and the most, and they are sponsoring us. They are our internet provider, and I really want you to choose them because they're the best and they've been doing it the longest and they care the most. They are our lake life people. Lakeland Internet is for your lake internet. All right. So thank you for that. So here's where we are. So we're really at this point where I wanted to talk to you about. We talked about the donut capital world. We talked to you about all the things that are changing. We've moved the burger trailer over to the donut side. So that frees us up for that whole park over there. Tom's Park now will just be there for parties, right? Our concerts. It's going to be wide open and it's going to have the tent. And Fridays and Saturdays, we're going to have live music there because I don't want live music in a family restaurant. It's too loud in there. It doesn't make sense. We're not a bar. We're a family restaurant that happens to serve drinks to grown-ups if they want them. And I want you to know that if you're going to be waiting in line to get a table at our place, or even if you're waiting in line to go to Acapulco's, we're going to have beepers for you. And I don't know what they do over there. They might by then. But if you want to wait in line at Acapulco's, or you want to wait in line for our restaurant, you can gather over there at the lakeside where all the docks are, and we're going to have music and we'll have libations over there. And it's just going to be a fun gathering place where you can see the water, hang out, and enjoy the donut capital of the world. I just really want you to understand that's why we're doing that. And it really conjoins the restaurant and the water with the two properties the two corners, and it makes it that really, really nice place to have all that going on. So once that's going on, we're going to be moving this winter. I want you to know another big aggressive move I'm making is that I have a consultant in my restaurant right now. I hired a consultant to help me get better at the kitchen. Um, people hire me all the time to get better at their businesses. Well, I'm not a, I've hired a consultant to help me understand why I can't get the timing of the food on a regular basis to come out and on the tables at the right speed, at the right time. What is it that I'm doing wrong? And so he's in there. He's already been in there a couple nights. He's going to be there all week. And when we're done, we're going to sit down. He's going to tell me, here, Todd, this is where you got to do. This is where you're going to move it. This is how we got to spend the money. This is what we're going to do. And we're also on the process of extending our chef search. So we have a great cook. We're really happy with our cook. We need one more. And once we get done with this consulting, it's going to help us set up so we know where to go on how to do steaks. Listen, my North Star of this restaurant is killer fish and steaks. It's just that simple. Killer fish and steaks for families at the donut capital of the world. I mean, don't make it so difficult, everybody. That's the North Star of what we're trying to do here. Everything's at the donut capital of the world. It's your place, your tradition. Go there and celebrate it. So I think it's important that you know that I am happy with things, but I know we can do better. And this this fall and this winter is the time. You're going to come out all winter, all fall. You're going to enjoy the food. You're going to watch us grow. And you're going to see the things we're doing. Ask me questions. I'm going to be there. I'm back and forth from Florida. This is where I want to be, right? I want this to win. So I'm excited about what's happening there. The consultant will be done this week. We got notes we're already taking. We already got a strong compliment chef in the kitchen that's going to help us move this thing north over the winter. And we are going to have steaks. We've got the process. We've got the Ansel system finally fixed. We got the floor fixed. We got the fryers fixed. We got the oven, the massive char broiler that Ruth Chris uses for their steaks already in place and put together and ready to go. It's just a matter of endurance and time and getting the right people and getting the right things up. So keep coming in and supporting us. We're doing half price currently Wednesday, because we're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Wednesday, Thursday, we do half price. We do half price food from 4 to 6. So come on in, have a good time, stick around, watch some TV, hang out with us. It's a beautiful place in there. So that's what's going on there. A couple of other updates I wanted you to understand. Let me see. More parking. We've got more parking now because of the restaurant. Got some of my notes up here. We will have steak. I got that. We've got the chef. We talked about that. Stay family first. Extended menu. Right now, we do have a new menu. Come on in and check out the menu. A lot of you ask me, well, what are you going to do with the menu? So we're moving. So like when I first opened it, I felt like I coined I don't know if it's real, but we had an upgraded bar menu. I know I'm going long. You guys just hang on. This is a lot to tell you. I'm going to get it out. You can play it back if you want. Tell some people around. We had an upgraded bar menu. So now what we've done is take the pictures off the menu. We created a new menu, and now we have an entry menu into a steak family restaurant menu, right? I want to get in there. I want to just get around the Applebee's mindset, gets maybe a little notch above that. Obviously, from a food perspective, I don't mean their food's bad. I'm just saying I want to be able to offer more product at a higher level on a fresher basis than a national chain. But I want you to know it's a family-friendly place built around lake life traditions. And steak will be killer. Killer fish, killer steak. Bone-in ribeye is going to happen. And it's going to be the best you've ever had in this area for sure. And we won't quit until it's better than the best you ever had. And that's kind of where we're going with that. So the big news I want to share with you, and as I get ready to close here, is that now that we're the donut capital of the world and we're coming out as we're leading with that brand, I want you to know that every season we do a BOGO card. And we're not going to leave our own traditions. We're going to keep building on our traditions. And the BOGO card really keeps building. And that means basically you can come in to the Tom's Donuts in Angola, Indiana, and you will be able to come into traditions now. And anytime we're open, and you will be able to buy, that's the big thing. You will be able to buy a BOGO card, right? This was a rough spot for a lot of people because they bought their BOGO cards, and then I bought the old brewskis and turned it into traditions. And we couldn't use the Tom's Donuts BOGO Christmas cards at traditions. But this year, all of the new BOGO cards, the old cards can't, we just, I don't know. I'm not prepared to answer that, but I do know that the new cards coming out for sure, when you buy these new cards, if it's just going to be at you buy $100 of credit with us, we're going to give you an extra 100. So if you give us 100, we give you 200 back. You give us 500, we give you 1,000 back, right? Last year we had a couple people give us $1,500 and we gave them $3,000 back in gift cards. Now, the special thing about this season is those gift cards are donut capital of the world cards. Now, see it all coming together, right? Donut capital of world cards, and it's going to be good at all of our Tom's Donut affiliations, Todd's Tracy Sailor affiliations under the Donut Capital of the World moniker. So you can get ice cream for the BOGO card gift card. You can get the brisket burgers for the BOGO gift card, the coney dogs for the BOGO gift cards, the onion rings for the BOGO gift card, donuts for days, cream-filled long johns for the BOGO gift card, glazed donuts for the BOGO gift card, T-shirts for the BOGO gift card, hats, sweatshirts. You can get it all. And more importantly right now you're going to be able to bring it right into traditions and get that killer fish at half price all the time with the BOGO gift card. You're going to be able to get that prime rib steak with that BOGO gift card. We've created our own little ecosystem and our own currency for this half price. Now, the reason this was born is because I know that through this period of economic change, a lot of prices went up for a lot of things, and the donuts weren't any mystery. They went up also. Everything we use has went up. The whole world, the prices went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? But I thought to myself, like, how can I really give everybody, those people that are loyal and willing to bet on us, a discount? And so this is how we do it. Every October, November, and December through January, you can come into Traditions now or the Tom's Donuts in Angola, Indiana, and you can even go online and buy them. And you give us any denomination, and we're going to double that back to you in an evergreen gift card, meaning it never runs out and it never expires. Now, I would be careful because if you lose it, you lose it, right? We don't have a way to, really check all that. So I would come in and I would get cards and I would get them in denominations of 50s or 100s. And if you want to hand them out for Christmas, do it, do all those things. But man, it's a great gift. It's a great discount. So those of you who say, hey man, I want my donuts for $9 a dozen, buy a BOGO gift card and the $18 dozen donut becomes $9 right away. If you want a $10 fish dinner, then you just buy a BOGO gift card because a fish dinner is $20. Now it's only 10. And now you can buy up and be ahead. And I'm always going to take credit on those. On the Tom's Donuts merch, the Tom's Donuts burgers, the Tom's Donuts Angola, the Tom's Donuts Lake James, now Traditions. It's all one brand, and it's now called the Donut Capital of the World. So I wanted to make sure that we close today with this. The BOGO is real. Buy one, get one, any denominations. It's coming in November, and it's all going to be under one card called the Donut Capital of the World. So I'm just going to look at my notes here. I just want to let you know that the blood drive was a big success this year at the lake, and we're going to do blood drives every Friday before every holiday, Memorial Day, July 4th, and Labor Day. So the blood drive is there. We we broke a world record. I say that, but we broke every record they had. We had they couldn't take all the blood that the Tom's Donuts Lake Life people wanted to do out there. So they said, can we come back? I said, every holiday on a Friday, it's yours. And so they're excited about that. I want you to know and thank you for that. We're developing the water side more. We're going to add one more parking spot over there. There's a lot of grief over where to park. So we're going to add one more parking spot over there at the water side. I want to encourage you all that. That's going to give us 5 parking spots. Okay, that's 5. We have 9 spots there, and I'm giving up 5 of those for customers. We do have a cost basis that the other 4 help us cover, and they're partners with us, and we're appreciative of those people over there. We're just grateful, and we hope to keep them. We have a long line for those people there, and so Heather will be calling people on that. Blood drive, parking, we're adding another spot. Concert series is booked for next year. We're all set with that. We've got one more year with these 2 amazing bands, and then we're going to really be blowing that up probably the following year, and even going a little. We need our sponsors for that to continue to grow that. Thank you everybody for that. I think I've covered everything. I'm just taking a look, quick check here. I just BOGO. All right. So November, get ready to buy your gift cards. The Donut Capital of the World gift cards are going to be beautiful. You're going to love them. You're going to love giving away stocking stuffers. And they're good this year at Traditions and all the donut shops and all the merch. Well, listen, you guys, I went on 50 minutes. I want to let you know, man, that Traditions is spectacular. I want to let you know that I have a consultant in there right now in the kitchen every night this week, making us even better in the kitchen, faster in the kitchen, making us more understanding of the craft of having a great restaurant. We are dedicated to going the distance for you in all of the services that the Donut Capital of the World brings to you. So I just want you all to know, thank you for listening. And I want you to know God is good, and you guys can count on him, and you guys can count on me for your Lake Life Traditions. You guys have a great day, and we'll get together soon. Get to Lake Life Traditions. Come on, Friday's fish night.